Hey, what's going on? Welcome along to episode 51 of the Strategy and Conversions podcast. I'm Jamie Michael Joseph, and as always, I'm joined by Mark Tanner.
Hello there.
Mark, we mentioned last week all about the journaling. We've had some great feedback with that. I've tried doing it myself, as you can see. I've switched things up, in my little room at the minute, talking with you. I kind of jotted a few things down, and I was
Yeah,
just like, look, I'm bored of where I'm sat. I'm bored of looking at the same walls. Let's just change things around. Now I'm standing up. I'm in a different part of the room. I've got some
yeah,
books behind me. You know,
brilliant,
and
brilliant.
anyone listening to the podcast is just like, what are you talking about? But the whole point here is just like, look, it's all about making, small changes or even big changes that are going to impact you that you're happy to be making, right? But without actually jotting a few things down or thinking about it, you never know, what you can do. It's just
Yeah,
always that thing. To be honest, I can remember I was, changing around the room, moving a few things around. And I can remember on a podcast episode many moons ago, and I said something about, cleaning your desk isn't something to put on your to-do list. It's not something that's going to move you forward. I remember you saying, but, if you create a bit of space, that is worth it, And I was having a chat a
yeah,
little while
yeah.
back, and someone said, I've got to change the room around before I do something. And I
Oh,
was
it's
like,
amazing.
okay, I get it. So I was like, look, let's change the room around and let's just see how things go like this. So yeah, standing up. I've
Yeah,
said to you before, like the first day standing up all day, I was like, wow, this hurts.
yeah,
But
yeah. Just
yeah,
shows. But
got used to it.
sitting down is terrible. Yeah, I know. And I know I'm sat at the moment. But going back to what you were saying, so interesting when you do sort of tidy up or I mean I've got so many books and one of my shelves on my and the bookcase. There's only a real naff bookcase. It fell down about 3 or 4 weeks ago. It had been down for about 3 weeks. I thought I really got to do something about it. So I took off all the books because most of them are journals actually. Most of them are old journals, and there's some other books as well. Put it back up. I was just going, and as I was putting journals, I was going through them. I thinking, wow, I forgot even thought about this. And I was finding sort of ideas that I had that I'd forgotten about, and I'm writing them down everywhere else. And it's just when you go through stuff, it's amazing the kind of stuff you find, or books you've never read. You think, oh, I really need to read that because I know you mentioned there's a couple of books that you suddenly thought, oh, I'll read that, and they've turned out to be real gems. So, um,
Exactly that. And even, yeah, like I said to you, I sent you a message a few days ago. I said, oh, I found a few books which are duplicates.
yeah,
I was
exactly,
like,
yeah,
do you want them? Like, it's just like that.
yeah,
That's the thing. It's like, I must have bought the same book twice, just thinking,
yeah,
oh, yeah, that looks like a good book. I'll get around to reading that. And it's
yeah.
just like, yeah, stuff gets buried. You just forget all about it. And then,
It's
yeah,
easy, isn't it,
sometimes,
when
yeah.
life
And
gets in the way?
I
Yeah,
can remember going back years and years ago, working at this place, and this old kind of military guy, he said to me, a change is as good as a rest. And I was
yeah.
like, okay, that's stuck with me, all
Mm.
the time. And that's, like I said, that whole kind of thing of, being sat down, you just, I don't know, just started feeling a bit soft,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
wanted
yeah,
to change it around and do a few things. So yeah, mate, it's all the thing I wanted to just push on there is obviously from the journaling thing. Like even I'm seeing an impact just by making small changes and just by thinking
yeah.
things through and writing
Brilliant,
things down and thinking,
brilliant.
okay, what would benefit me, and actually kind of keeping myself accountable, which is
Yeah,
a massive thing, right?
yeah. That's right. I mean, that is a massive thing. It's because if this is the thing. I was actually writing a blog about this not long back about we talk about when you start building a team, you got a team of people in your business or whatever. You can't expect your team to follow a discipline if you're not disciplined yourself. So the journals that again come back, the journal thing is all about the self discipline, what helps you with the self discipline, because you start taking the action on things you want to improve, and you don't you set yourself maybe like set yourself deadlines or not as the case may be. But if you set yourself a deadline, think I'm going to do that by, and you set yourself a date. And when other people see that you're just managing yourself and your own deadlines, then when you say to people you've got a team going, this was the gist of the blog I wrote, was that you can't expect your team to really value deadlines that you set or they set if you're not valuing your own. And when they see that you say, no, I said I was going to do this by such and such a date and I've done it, they think, oh, go on, he's quite serious. So we better make sure we do this to the deadline. And it all comes into that whole management and I suppose discipline, I guess. But if you can't do that for yourself, how can you do that for other people? So it always starts with you. You know, you've got to be doing it, and journaling is a great way to help you do that.
Yeah, that's massive actually. Thinking about it, I'm listening to a book at the minute on Audible, and it's called Clockwork. And this is a book that's been out for a while, and there's an updated version. And
I've
I
heard
listened.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, the guy's got a few books. I've read a few before, and this one it keeps popping up, and I was like, okay, I'm going to check this one out because it's now updated. And he starts talking about how basically the E Myth. The guy who wrote the E Myth, Michael Gerber, he was
yeah,
at an event where he's speaking. He's kind of talking to him afterwards, and he's like, he could see that there's something else was needed alongside the E Myth. And I can remember we spoke about this on the podcast
yeah,
a while back, where it was like, I feel like the E Myth is good, but it's a bit outdated, or it gets you to a certain level. And the reason that I was saying about there's no innovation, but actually listening to this book, I think I can see is well what I was kind of meaning, but not being able to kind of say clearly.
mm,
It's like what this guy's saying is like it's all well and good documenting your processes, your procedures, and all this kind of stuff, right? And then getting other people to do it. But all you're doing there is you're just going to get to a certain point, because quite right in what you were saying there is people are just going to look at it and go, well, why is the fat cat getting all the cream whilst I'm doing all the work here and stuff like that?
yeah,
And what he goes into talking about is like, look, what you have to do is create a mission and a vision that everyone is bought into. Everyone is moving along in the same way to want to achieve it. And that's how you can step away, because people take over as if like they're never going to be fully into it as if it's theirs, but they're going to
yeah,
take over where they want to actually progress. They want to proceed forward, and
yeah,
actually do a good job. And it's like, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
yeah, yeah. And and to take that on a step further, and when it comes to that kind of thing, when you get people to buy into it and really buy into that vision and mission, one of the most powerful things you can do for your employees or your team is you set aside a portion of the profits, you start profit sharing with them,
Mm.
because they're really bought into it then, because they think, well, if we do this, and they're really strive to do more, because they know that if the company makes more profit, that there's a profit share bonus that's going to be on their salary check, and it all starts from getting them to buy in, to buy into what you're doing, and what everyone's going to achieve. So the vision doesn't become, this is my vision, this is our vision, and then you start, this is the way that you are going. So the vision is maybe that as a business owner, I want the company to be here to get to this particular point up here. But the vision for everyone is that, and by doing that, I'm going to be, I'm going to be developing you, or you'll go through your own development, and you'll be able to make your own choices, and developing you as a person, and through skills and personal abilities and that kind of stuff. And while you're doing that, we're building this company, and you're going to be getting a share of the profits, and that profit sharing inside. I've seen it. I heard about it, and I saw it working with one company years ago. I can't remember which company it was. I can't remember where I was. I think it was in. It was in. Oh, got a feeling it was. I lived in Swindon for a really short time. Sorry to people who live in Swindon, but I really hated Swindon. But that's back in the 70s and 80s. But yeah, it's a horrible place. Really soulless at the time, but maybe it's better now. But at the time, there was a company in Swindon who were doing it, and it was, and I knew I was an employee myself of an IT company, but it's just interesting because I knew the guy, and I just went in one day on a day off, and we were talking about stuff, and that's when I kind of first started getting into business, and it was just fantastic. People were so passionate about the whole thing. That sounds like a bit of a cliche, doesn't it? That someone's really passionate about someone else's company, but they really were, because they could see it was reflected into their paycheck. Which I know money isn't everything, but when it gets to that level, that you're giving away parts of your profit because you want those people to really succeed, and giving them the ability to maybe spend more and do more, and take an extra day's leave a month or something. I don't know, whatever they do with it. But the point is, all of a sudden, it really is affecting and impacting their lives positively. Now, I think that makes a massive difference. But I haven't seen many companies do it. But I guess there must be some others.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there must be, some things like that. And I guess you get a lot of commission-based stuff, and, you might get certain offices or something sharing commission from a certain place. But like you said, the business as a whole, You know, it's
Yeah, yeah,
like it does, it makes sense that if you can actually have, a share of a
yeah,
place, you're going to work harder, you're going to actually put in. I think that's a big part of it. I think I got caught up in a trap, many moons ago, working for a place where all of a sudden you're working from, you know, 5 a.m. You're finishing at like 5 p.m. You're getting home and then you're working a bit more, and it's like
yeah,
10 p.m. and stuff like that. And you're getting paid all right, and you're getting commission and stuff. But you know that tomorrow you could just be gone. Like
yeah,
it's as
yeah,
simple as that. There's nothing that's keeping you in there, and you do that kind of stuff because you're into that job, and you're kind of just ticking along, and you do want to make your commission or something. But you're never doing it in a way where you're like, I need to grow this because part of it is mine.
yeah,
And
yeah,
and I think that is massive. I think we should actually run through that in a podcast episode in the near future. And
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because this went all the way from, I think it was even good. This this company employed its own cleaners, receptionists, everything, and it went all the way down to them.
wow.
It wasn't just the salespeople getting their commissions because that's salespeople love to say, yeah, I've built this company and I'm paying your salary and all this kind of stuff, which I've seen in the past as well. But this went down to so that I, to the janitor time. So if you keep this building really clean and make this a building that people are going to be proud to come into, then we're going to give you a share of the profit. And for someone who thinks they're in that kind of a lowly position, which I guess some people do, that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. They don't do anything to do with selling. They don't do anything to do with running the company, but they keep the building absolutely immaculate.
We've spoke about this before, haven't we? How like the receptionist is such an integral part of a company and stuff
Massive,
like that,
yeah.
but isn't rewarded for
No, that's right.
things like that. They're not getting a share of it. And like you said, a cleaner, a janitor, like that their job is to keep the place clean and everything, but
Yeah.
they're not benefiting, from the
No,
same.
they're not really, but
Someone
but
just
then
making a phone call and making a sale.
yeah, exactly. Well, yeah. I remember it's interesting to say that because I remember I used to work and this was at the time. So I was working. I'd been relocated to Reading at this point, but before that, I worked for the same company, Digital Equipment, which is an IT company, and I worked in Bristol, and we had this big sales, this big kind of the sales department, all these sales people that we really didn't know much about. And I was learned them. I mean, in those days, back again, late 70s, early 80s, IT sold itself. There
Mm.
was none, these salesmen were just order takers, basically calling out their customers. Say, okay, what can we do for you this month? And say, well, I like one of these and maybe one of those. And that's all. Okay, I can do that. That's a sale. They were getting commission for basically taking orders over the phone. You think that's not in my book. That's kind of selling, but it's not selling in the sense that how can I improve what you're doing? It's just what can I basically
Yeah.
what can
What can I do
I
for you?
how much money can I make for you this month?
Yeah, it is funny, isn't it? And I think there's probably a lot of companies like that still who
Yeah,
they have people in sales positions, but really they're just order takers.
yeah, really.
And then you get in, I guess you get business development managers and stuff like that are kind of salespeople, but not getting the whole kind of same benefit as salespeople and stuff like that because they pass them on. We could get into all sorts, and we will do in another episode. But let's get back to at the end of the episode last week. We said, look, let's talk about making money because
Yeah,
there's all this stuff about more prices. Everything's going up. You've got to pay more
yeah.
for things. And everyone's talking about save money on this and save money on that. No one's really talking about make money. So
Mm.
let's get into making money. And obviously, here in the UK, I was just chatting with you. You said about like council tax is going to go up and
Yeah,
energy bills are going to go up again. And stuff like that. So all of a sudden, you've got to find some more money, to
yeah.
be paying. I'll tell you, mate, something that mate just made me kind of think, okay, what's going on here? Is that council tax, right? I mean, where I live, we pay quite a bit in council tax, right? And basically, one day they didn't take the bin for the grass, right? So
Mm.
like trying to find out why they didn't take it. Oh, your subscription, is expired. It's like, okay, like you need a subscription for that. Yeah, you need to pay an extra £3 a month if you
Ugh.
want the grass to be taken. It's like £3. It's like, don't I pay enough? It's like
Yeah, yeah,
seriously, what
yeah,
is it exactly I'm paying for? But now, not just the £3, but it's going to go up again. So obviously now it's like,
yeah.
well, if you're not looking to make more money,
Yeah,
then you're just going to be spending more money.
yeah.
And I think
And I
that's
think
the
this.
problem, right?
Sorry to interrupt. And I think this is also essential for. Yeah, okay. We have businesses, and we're always looking at how we can extend the business. But there are, I mean, I don't know how many employees watch this, but if you're an employee watching this, getting a small little side hustle, something that's going to produce extra cash, is going to be priceless, because your salary is not going to go up in line with all the inflation and the bills. And I laugh, but it's not a laughing matter. It's true. People are going to be really struggling, and I know already people whose mortgages have gone up, and they were tight anyway, and now they're really in the, not quite up the creek yet, but they could be. So it's so important if somebody could get a little sideline that just brings in another 300 quid a month, then that's going to be a lifesaver to some people.
That's the massive thing, mate, because obviously we're talking about making money, and we're going to go in more about making money online. Of course, you can go and get odd jobs, you can get a second job, you can do
Yeah,
all sorts, right?
yeah,
I mean, you cut your grass outside, just
yeah,
go and ask a couple of neighbors if they want their grass cut for a certain
yeah,
amount. You can
yeah,
chuck it in
yeah,
your bin if you've got the subscription to it as well. Like,
yeah,
it's that kind of thing. So you can do lots of stuff. We are going to be focused on online, and we're going to talk a bit about business as well and business growth, but we're going to focus a lot more about stuff online. And the reason we talk about that is that anyone can do it.
yeah,
It does. All you need to the days today is an internet connection, and most people have that with their phone. So you can do things like that. But the big thing is the whole kind of make money online world gets a bad rep, and it gets a bad rep for good reason, because there's a
mm,
lot of the kind of snake oil salespeople out there and
yeah, yeah,
claiming this and claiming that. And yeah, you never see, besides the stuff like what we talk about and that, you never see the people say, make it an extra couple of £100 a month. It's always, 10 grand a month, overnight millionaire. If you're not making six figures, then something's wrong,
yeah,
But what we're talking about now is, look, if an extra, like you said, £300, right?
yeah,
An extra £300 a month is going to make a big difference. It's going to cover all those increases and give you a little bit to play with. Then why would you not look to make an extra £300 a month? And look, it isn't difficult.
yeah,
That's the thing. It isn't difficult, right? It's simple. It just isn't easy in a way where it does require some work.
mm,
So it's not just going to come to you. You actually are going to have to do some work.
yeah,
You're going to
yeah,
have to get a little bit out of the comfort zone. Like
yeah,
you said, if we're saying like an employee, people would have a business and they're looking at a kind of never stream and stuff like that as well. You could be that employee. You could be studying. You could be doing anything right now and just going, okay, like how can I make that extra bit of money? That whole kind of younger age generation, I think they're all over this with, okay, how can we make money? I don't even know if it's still called a side hustle anymore. Maybe we're showing our age now. I don't know if it's
yeah,
still
probably.
called side. Maybe it's something else, but it's always been around, right? It's
Yeah,
always been around about making money on the side and all that kind of stuff. So now, side hustle is that whole kind of online thing, that it's been spoken about. And look, let's get into that whole kind of £300. Let's put £500, right? Let's not mess about. Let's go £500 a month. You want to make an extra
£500.
£500 a month, right? You could look to sell your services to one person for £500,
Mm,
right? It is like that, right? And it's like, yeah, okay, that sounds easy, but who's going to give me £500? We'll run through that in a minute. But if you're just there going, that's too difficult. Well, if we flip that on its head and we said, look, you think people would give you £1? Then yeah, okay, you might be able to do that. Right now, you've got to find 500 people to do it. So 500 people, okay, it might be a bit of a tall order, to do that. So let's meet in the middle somewhere. Let's look at if we look to get 50 people paying us £10, or what
mm,
if we look to get 10 people then paying us £50?
mm.
All of a sudden now it becomes a lot more manageable, right? It becomes a lot more realistic. We can make this happen. We just need to look at, okay, how can we do this? And we'll run through some stuff in a minute, but that makes sense so far, Mark, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean the thing is, that's right. If you people people will we talked about this, didn't we, last week? People aren't just going to give you £5, £10, whatever, even a quid sometimes. Um, but especially now, because they're going to think, oh, I've got to keep everything I've got. So you've got to give something of value, or you've got to be doing whatever it is, giving service, It's got to be of value to them. But if you're going to be offering people something that is of, let's say, £10 value, which isn't massive nowadays. I mean, I don't know, in the UK, it's not even a couple of beers in a pub anymore, is it? Well, it's just
It's
about.
not even a pizza anymore, mate.
No, exactly. So, £10, what can you do? Yeah, become a pizza deliverer in your spare time. No, not saying that. But the point is, if you can give stuff of value that say is, I can give you something that has a value of say 20 quid, and you give me 10 quid for it, then people are going to think, yeah, of course I will. And that's the secret. It's all about value. It's not like we were saying last week. It's a value exchange. Money is just a medium of exchange. They have £10 of value, and you want to give them something that's certainly worth it, at least that, if not more, worth of £10 worth of value back, and they'll exchange it to you.
I love that. That's got to be a soundbite for this episode. It's just like, look, sell £20 for £10. Like,
Yeah,
that there is a secret, right? And obviously, it sounds too good to be true when or you sound like you're losing straight away, but by doing that. But we'll get into that in just a minute.
Yeah.
But I just thought something just to kind of mention as well. Look, we've been talking a lot about pounds and stuff like that. We do have listeners in the States and around the world. So look, we're talking dollars. We're talking wherever you are, right? It doesn't
whatever
matter.
your currency,
Whatever your currency is, whether it's it could be Bitcoin these days. Who knows? Right? Is that kind of thing. But the whole point here is that whatever your currency is that it's making now, we'll continue with pounds just because is what we talk about. But this works globally, right? That's the good thing with the online kind of world, is that it is the world. You can obviously do things, to make that money. So for me, the easiest way, the fastest way, the tried and tested way to make money online is through affiliate marketing.
Yeah.
And what affiliate marketing is just think about it as someone giving you commission for making a sell. Right. And that's what it is. And you could probably do a Google search now for whatever kind of industry, whatever kind of sector, and put affiliate program at the end, and you will have a lot of kind of options come up. So as many, but we've spoke about this on a podcast before, lots of different places. If you want to sell holidays at, £1,500 and take, a 10% commission, make £150 every time, it's there. If you want to sell something that is, someone's looking to sell a little ebook for maybe $7, and they're going to pay you, 15-20%, and you're going to be making $1 or $2 every time. But okay, why not? It's the same concept. It's the same process. It's exactly the same as you walk into a shop and just saying, I'll work for you for free or just on commission.
Yeah.
You just pay me for what I sell. Who isn't going to take that, that option?
So this is just a quick example here, because my missus has done this without even knowing it was affiliate marketing. Where the butternut box, we've got a small dog, and most small dogs are fussy eaters, and we've only found one product, and that's called butternut box. I think it's called butternut box, and the food that comes from that is about the only thing she eats. And it's not really any more pricey. It's just a pain to get a hold of, and you get it, and again you get it over the internet. And they came out with the things that the offer is that if you tell people about butternut box, instead of giving you some money, you'll get your box for half price.
Yeah.
So it's a similar thing. So all she did was she put it on Facebook to her mates and just kept talking about, but and that she's not pushing it. She just put a couple of posts on there every now and then, that a couple of times when the boxes arrive, nothing pushy, because she will not sell. She's adamant that she can't sell, and she doesn't like selling. But I think we've had about 3 or 4 months of half price butternut box products, simply because she's been putting it out there. So that is not money in your hand, but it's a similar idea. It's a money off your bills because of what you do, and that is a very, very basic form of affiliate marketing.
Mate, definitely. I think 3 things popped up straight away there. Is like, yeah, do you know what? Most people have probably done something like this without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
And it is just that refer a friend thing. And sometimes they don't even give you any commission or anything. They just say, tell your friend about it. And you do, and that there is part of the secret, isn't it? Is that, look, if you would tell a friend about it, then you're already halfway there. Because if you believe in something, if you would tell your friend to go and buy something because it would benefit them, then why not take a commission? Why not benefit from that? You talk about obviously the dog kind of food. You get you get the people food, but
Yeah.
you get the whole kind of like Gusto box and all these kind of places.
Same
They do
things. Yeah.
exactly the same thing. You'll get a
Yeah.
leaflet in there. Refer a friend. We've set up with businesses before, and stuff like that. Where it's like as soon
Yeah.
as someone takes it, it's like, who else do you know? All that kind of stuff. But you can actually go now, right? There are different sites. There's one site called ClickBank, which is in the
Yeah.
States. It has all kinds of different products. Now, I started using this like 12 years ago to make money online. And it worked back then, it works exactly the same today. We were talking about this as well a little while back. Did a little challenge back in the summer called Summer Cash. It was all about making money online. We looked at a product. We looked at a few products, but there's one on there on this ClickBank which was called Java Burn. And it was like a detox coffee, and it was just like
Yeah.
you can lose weight by drinking coffee. And it's like if you actually get into it, it's an alright product, but it does talk about you need to do some other stuff around it. But that there went on. It's something like within a short period of time went from zero to like $100 million worth of company, right? Just from the affiliate stuff. So you can go and do that affiliate stuff, and you don't even need to go online. You don't even need to go, off to the States and stuff like that. Even if you are in the States, so you don't need to go online and go to these companies that you've never heard of before. You can go to companies that you do know, but you can also go to local companies as well. You can go to people that you do know. I know a lady you're speaking with at the minute. She set up a little affiliate group. She's just like, people want to make money. People have got products, and she's just putting them together. And that's all it is. That's all you're doing, really, is you're putting people together. So you got to think of a company. They've got a product for sale. It's going to cost them to acquire a customer, right? Through whatever marketing, ads, a salesperson going out, whatever it is, it's going to cost them. So if you can actually shorten that process, if you can make that process cheaper, well, that's a benefit to them. So they're going to pay you to obviously do that, and that's all you need to do with affiliate marketing. You just sign up for, an affiliate program with them, and you will get this. Now, if you're listening, you're going, yeah, that all sounds good, but it sounds complicated. I don't know where to start or anything like that. Think about the things that you already use. So like you said, you got the dog box, but you could go onto Amazon and you can sign up to be an Amazon affiliate, right? So you can start talking to people now about, these are the best Christmas toys coming up. Check them out. Anyone goes through and they purchase, you get a commission, right? How cool is that? You can do things with Audible as well, where you can just tell people that you can go and get a free audio book and they sign up a subscription. As long as they keep their subscription going, you get paid. If you have a business and you use certain tools, well, recommend them to other people and just get a link that obviously you can then, go and people go and buy through your link. So like if you think now with marketing, for example, maybe you've got Canva to create some images, tell people to go and get the Canva premium, you get a commission that way. Active Campaign, okay, they need they need an email system. Active Campaign, they take a commission that way. What, you need to build a website? Okay, go and do this one. All of a sudden, you've got 10 different things that you already use that you recommend. People go and do that, and they just obviously take a commission from that.
Yeah, that's right. And I was just, as you were talking there, it came to mind that we're not talking here network marketing, which is again a different thing altogether. And again, we're not. And I don't want to knock network marketing in any way. There are good ones and there are bad ones. Bad maybe is the wrong word, but good ones or a bit dodgy ones. But the point is that's a kind of different arm we haven't even spoken about. This is just purely affiliates where you like something so much, you're bound to say yes, it's really, really good stuff. My dog or my cat or whatever really loves this. Why don't you try it? Because especially small dog owners, she speaks to a lot of small dog owners. Lots of people have problems with small dog owners being fussy eaters. So she said, well, I've tried this and it works. Why don't you give it a go? And so they think, well, yeah. So of course, that's it. Bang, affiliate. Yeah. And if they carry on with the subscription, great stuff. It all works. So it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It doesn't have to be, as you said, there are, tens of millions of products on the internet, from pillows to whatever, I don't know. And it doesn't have to be anything out of the ordinary. And it's just a simple recommendation, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's as simple as this. You just say you go to the gym and people are always asking you what exercises to do and stuff like that. You just say, yeah, I also recommend these supplements. You go here and buy them. It's that it's simple or something like that. Or people are asking you, oh, what supplement should I take? Okay, I
Yeah,
take
yeah,
these. Go and do this. Mate, great point that you just mentioned there. Like the whole kind of network marketing thing, the MLM and stuff like that, is what we're talking about here with affiliate marketing. We're not talking about getting any kind of products or stock or anything like that you have to keep in your house. We're not talking about spending any money up front either.
no,
You don't need to spend any money.
no,
That's the thing. You can get into spending money on the whole kind of marketing front to get more customers if you want to, but you don't have to spend any money.
no,
And the third thing there as well, which is totally gone out of my head, what I was going to say. No, I know it was. Look, you don't even need to speak to anyone.
no.
That's how cool it is, right? You don't even
Yeah,
need to
yeah,
speak to anyone. That's
yeah,
got to be the biggest kind of thing where people shy away from stuff. Oh, I don't really want to be speaking to anyone and stuff like that. You don't want to be going around to someone's house and trying to convince them to buy something. You don't need to do all that. All you need to do is just share a link, like you
yeah.
said.
Share a link.
Oh, our dog loves this food. If you want to check it out as well, you can get a free sample here. People go and sign up. If they carry on their subscription or whatever, you get a commission.
Mm.
We're not looking to pull the wool over anyone's eyes. We're not looking to cheat them.
No, that's right.
All we're looking to do is add value to someone with something they would probably already look to be buying anyway. It's
Yeah,
just that
yeah,
you become a middle person. You get paid
yeah,
a commission
yeah,
every time they purchase and stuff like that. So it could be
yeah,
a one-off, it could be recurring. And I just say that, look, with the affiliate stuff, if you're just like, this sounds really good, I just don't know where to start or anything like that, look, just shoot us a message on any kind of platform,
yeah,
or email us info@strategyandconversions.com, because look, there'll be something that we recommend that you can do. We even have stuff ourselves. Is if you're just like, yeah, okay, I want to sell some of your products and stuff like that, then let's set it up. Okay, it's all about making more money in 2023. So
mm,
we'll help you to do that. But that thing about affiliate marketing getting paid once, you can also get paid recurring, right? So like I said, just say Canva, which you don't know what Canva is just an online platform which you can create images and videos and all this kind of stuff, and it's like £10 a month or something like that for access
yeah,
to
yeah,
all of it,
yeah.
right? Now you'll get something like £1, £2 out of that, but you'll get it every month.
Mm,
So it's like you get 100 people all of a sudden, and it's 50, just say it's 15, it's £1.50 a month that you get 100 people, but all of a
mm,
sudden, yeah, you get £150 a month.
mm.
You don't need to do anything once someone's signed up. You don't need to keep checking in with them. You're happy with your service or anything. It's all done by Canva. You just get paid your
Yeah,
commission on and on. And that brings us into the second thing, really, the second area of making money online is that recurring income. Right? Who doesn't want recurring income, right? It's got to be the best thing ever. Just to
yeah,
go, okay, like I set things up once. And we spoke about this before with passive income. There's a lot of people that talk, you got the camp of passive income doesn't exist. You've got the camp of passive income, make $1 billion overnight. What we're talking about is that you need to put in some work, but you can continue benefiting from it. So you put in some work to get someone in, like on that affiliate, commission, that's fine. That ticks along then. It ticks
mm,
along, but you've put the most of the work in up front. What you can do is forget about being a middle person, forget about anybody else's products. How about you become the product or you create the product?
yeah,
We can easily do that through a membership site. And,
mm,
if you think about memberships, probably everyone listening right now is a member of something.
yeah. That's right.
That's the thing. You signed up to be a member. If you use any kind of social platform, if you use Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is, you're a member. You're a member of that site.
Yeah,
Even though it's free, you're still a member.
mm,
Right? So it is that thing of like people are used to becoming members to things. Now, years ago, you used to be able to set up a membership site with a bit of information, and that information just stays static, and people just kind of continue paying their membership. When we get to today, well, look, people can just go to Google and stuff like that and easily find the information. So what we need to do is just add something that either updates or something that adds an extra touch, which could easily just be you talking to them. It could be
yeah,
that you upload stuff. It could be that you basically recommend the best, whatever it is in your kind of niche, that you just recommend that each month or each week, and people pay a membership just to be around you.
yeah, yeah. Do you know there used to be a thing years ago, and called the Curry Club, and
Okay.
it was a bunch of people who would get together and they just recommended and go to Indian restaurants and recommend their favorite restaurants. And there was a membership involved, and it was, I can't remember the time, but I mean, we're talking a long time ago, and people would pay their money in different areas. They're all around the country. Obviously, it started out in London, but I think they were all over the place. And they paid a membership. Say, right, we're going to go to, say, for example, it was in Bristol, which is where we are from. So we're going to go to the such and such at Staple Hill, for example, this week. That's going to be our curry restaurant. We're going to go and see what it's like, and then we can write the reviews. So, and I got a feeling that the Curry Club people who were the members also got a site were getting a commission from the actual restaurants themselves. That if they wrote a good shed load of good reviews, which obviously is still the case now. You put on Just Eat or Trustpilot, all these kind of places. The restaurant's going to love you for that, even if it's a really small amount or if it's just a free meal. You know, there's a membership. There's then a kind of an affiliate type thing involved as well. And if you love Indian food, you get out to eat meals every month. It's not bad.
That is a massive thing, isn't it? And that there is another thing. Look, there are different layers to this.
Yeah.
So look, we are talking about making money, talking about potentially saving money as well, like you said, with like the dog food box. Is that well, you're getting a commission now in theory. It's just that you're getting it off of your next order. You're going to be spending it anyway.
Yeah. It's the same thing.
Making money. But you can actually add more layers onto that. So you say you can get paid monthly and you can get paid extra bits on top. We're not saying that you need to strip it away or anything. And what we're talking about here as well is maybe you offer something at the minute where you go, maybe I could put that into a membership. You know, maybe the people I give it to at the minute anyway, they can just come in for free. But now I'm going to charge people to come in. There's all things that, and what we're talking about here as well, right? We're probably going to have a lot of people who are listening who are already in business, right? But we can forget about your business right now. We can look at this from your passion, stuff that you do anyway, right? I was talking to a guy the other month, and him and his mate, they were really into the whole kind of fantasy football stuff. So like you pick a team and you get points and all this kind of stuff, right? And they were just like, well, no one's really discussing who to pick, why they should pick them, why they should substitute someone out and put someone else in. So they set up a little newsletter. They went on to have something like 3,000 members of their newsletter and started from their kitchen table. And it's like, you hear stories, you know, many moons ago about, oh yeah, they start from the kitchen table and they've got a multi-million-pound business and all this kind of stuff. But people are making money from the kitchen table now, like you said, that through all kinds of things.
Everything,
and they're not about making millions. It's not about scaling a massive company, but it's just making an extra £300. It could be making an extra few £1,000. You know, all it is really is that just putting in that bit of effort, they're putting in a bit of work to go, okay, look, this is what we want to do.
Yeah. And as you said, there are so many. And when you get into membership sites, I mean, the sky's the limit, isn't it? I mean, it was again when I first met my missus. Now, she was called she'll hate me for saying this now, so but she better not ever watch this. She was called the Tortoise Lady, and she bred tortoises, and she was regularly on Points West and writing for stuff, Evening Post and stuff. This is going back a long time. Because she was, and it was a particular type of tortoise. So I'm completely lost on this. There's several different types of tortoises, and this was the particular type of tortoise bred that survives in the UK. But they've all got they got to be licensed, they got to be chipped. There's all sorts of things that go on. But she knew what to feed them and what not to feed them, and when to feed them, what time of year they would eat this, and when they would want to lay their eggs, and then where they would go and how you had to manage them, and then understanding the breeding of tortoises and everything. She never got anything for it at all, because she was just had that reputation. But quite easily she could have said to people, okay, I'll charge you say £5. Well, not even, well, nowadays it would have been, but back then it could have been £1 a month for just the information, because people who breed tortoises are pretty passionate about breeding tortoises.
And the next part I was going to come on to was just creating products, like digital products, right? Which is like information products.
Yeah.
That could be checklists, it could be workbooks, it could just be little guides. And I mean, that there is a great example, and it's a great way how you can kind of look at the ascension kind of stuff to it, because you could create a little guide. So just say, you know, something that I'm just thinking off the top of my head, like today is like maybe it's like dog breeding or something like that, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And you know, it could be that you've bred dogs before, so you create a little, you know, a little guide. You know, this is what to watch out for. You know, this is, you know, these are the quick wins. This is what, you know, could go wrong and stuff like that. Stay away from this, and you know, do this way. That's a little guide. Someone could buy that. You know, just say it's like £10, you know, £20, something like that. Maybe a bit more. Who knows? But you could have something like that. Okay, £10. Someone buys that £10 checking it out. Well, how about now you've got a membership as well, which is £10 a month, which
mm.
basically, look, if and all it is, this is all it is, right? They're part of a WhatsApp group. And they're
Yeah.
part
That's
of a
right.
WhatsApp group, whatever people who are
Well,
looking to breed dogs and stuff like that. Any
yeah,
questions as well? Yeah, okay, we're there to answer it for you.
yeah, that's
Like
right.
how beneficial is that to someone who's looking to start breeding dogs, or you know,
Yeah,
they're currently breeding, you know, their dogs, or looking at getting into it, just to
yeah,
have that expert kind of topic on side. Now, again, that person who's breeding dogs, right? They could have a job elsewhere.
of course.
They just breed dogs on the side, you know, and
Yeah,
they do it to make a bit of extra money, but they love dogs and all that kind of stuff. I'm not talking about any of these farms that are about. We're talking about the ones that actually love dogs and that. And it's like all of a sudden now that knowledge is so valuable to other people.
yeah,
And just that thing of being able to reach out and say, I've got this question. What would you suggest on
yeah,
that? Is that worth £10 a month? Of course it is.
yeah. And that's the key word. Again, you use the key word, they're valuable.
Yeah.
People who again go back to the tortoises, there were people who absolutely would want to breed tortoises for the first time, were complete novices, and someone had they I don't know, somehow they had acquired a tortoise and they were completely stumped. How valuable was it for my missus to say, well, yeah, well, you want to make sure careful of this, don't feed that because that's poisonous. They won't like this, but you got to do this and got to do that. That is invaluable to someone starting out. Well,
Yeah.
even to people who've been breeding tortoises
Yeah.
quite a while.
Exactly. Like you say, imagine you
Yeah,
get a list as well then, and you say, look, this is the food we recommend. This is the
yeah,
place we need
that's
to
exactly,
register
yeah,
this, and
yeah,
all of a sudden you get your affiliate commission as well. So from
yeah,
one person, you know, you've now sold three different types of products to, and you've got a recurring kind of income then coming
yeah,
in.
yeah,
You know, and you
yeah,
could even get into. We'll come back to products in just a second, but what you can get into now as well is the whole kind of mentoring, coaching, teaching kind of realm as well, where maybe someone is just like, okay, look, if I pay you a bit of extra money, you know, could we meet up once a week or something like that? Could you check on my dogs for me? You know, could
yeah,
you, you know, could you make sure everything's going right within this period of time? You know that you know they're ready to give birth or whatever it is. All of
yeah,
a sudden now, you know that there's extra ones. Now, what we're looking at now is the quick ways of making money. You know, especially online. You know, you can do things in person as well, but looking at online, we looked at affiliate marketing, we looked at memberships. Let's just get into that kind of digital product realm again. So digital products, we're looking at small products here. So we're looking at quick impact guides, we're looking at templates, we're looking at checklists, workbooks, worksheets, all that kind of stuff, right? It's stuff that you would probably use already, if you, especially if you're in business,
mhm,
or it's just a list of things that you would run through, doing something that you do that now you're looking to share with someone else. You could create this on a Word document, a PDF. It could be um, done as a like a checklist in some sort or something like Canva, you know, or
yeah.
something like that. It could be on a PowerPoint. It doesn't have to be fancy.
No,
It doesn't have to be something that you've got to go and get printed out and you know get a graphic designer to do and everything like that. People just want the information. They want it quick. They want it easy. All we're looking to do is just provide that to them in a way which again is valuable, that they can just go 5, 10, 15, £20. Yeah, okay. You know, that makes
yeah,
sense. I think if you again look once you get over £50, a consideration comes into that. And I think probably the time where we're at right now and the time where we're headed, maybe £30 is starting to become that consideration,
yeah, yeah,
right? But if we get down, but if we get below £10, people go, okay, you know,
yeah. Why
I'll
not?
give this a punt.
I'll give it a go. Yeah, exactly.
You
Yeah,
know, exactly that kind of thing. So if you can create something there that what you're saying to someone is, look, you're going to speed up the process. There's this kind of shortcut, or I've put the things to watch out for. I put the things here to give you a boost, and it's only X amount of money. People think, yeah, okay, look, if just one thing comes out of that I benefit from, I'm going to take that. And this
Mm.
is really good stuff as well for a stepping stone. If you have like if you have like a program or a service or something like that, and maybe it is like 1,200, 1,500, free, £5,000, and stuff like that. And people are like, okay, this looks good, but I don't know if I trust you. I don't know, if you're any good, all that kind of stuff. Well, these little products, they build the know, like, and trust.
Yeah,
You can see that they're getting a result from the cheap stuff. That okay, the more expensive stuff has got to be better.
yeah, yeah. And there's so many the and it's interesting, isn't it? Because you don't have to be the only one doing it either. You just look at the amount of health guides, good eating guides are out there. I mean, there are again, I'm saying millions, but there are hundreds. I'm saying, but maybe not thousands, but hundreds of different sites with healthy eating guides on there. And the point is, again, there's one thing you talked about there was no like and trust. I could put something out on a health guide, for example, and I'm either the wrong age or I'm male or I'm a bit bald and people say, oh yeah, yeah. But whatever reason I don't resonate. You could put out something exactly the same wording, and yeah, you're younger than me, you still got hair. Yeah, okay, I'll go with Jamie's stuff. Everyone is different. People aren't going to buy one thing so they're not going to buy that thing from everything from you. They're going to be looking around. That's why there's so many of these guides around because people just think they just see you for the first time, and they think, "Well, I really trust that person." Absolutely no logic to it, but it's because for the first 4 seconds they've seen you. They think, "Oh, I'm going to read. I quite like what that person's saying. I'm going to read more." Or
Yeah.
they look at it.
I mean, we spoke
So
about that before as well, haven't we? About you go to the supermarket, you look at the toothpaste, and there's just like 20 different makes, and there's all different, even the same, one make has got 20 varieties. It's,
yeah,
it's like they're competing against themselves.
yeah,
It is just
that's
that thing,
right.
like there's so much choice out there, but like you said, that whole kind of thing of people buy from people,
Mm.
and positioning yourself that way. One thing that when you first said that, something that came into my mind that I thought you were going to go on to, but actually, this right here is a gem. Right, this right here, all the stuff we spoke about so far, right? We got okay, the affiliate marketing. You're taking someone else's product anyway, right? You got the membership side. We got the products. In one respect as well, even the kind of coaching, mentor, and teaching and stuff like that doesn't have to be you doing the stuff. You could team up with
No,
someone else.
no,
Yeah,
that's
no,
true.
you can go and interview someone to get the information and then
Yeah,
sell that as
yeah,
the product. It's like,
absolutely.
again, look, it's all about just putting in a bit of effort. It's a bit of outside the box. But you imagine this now, right? You go and I would take a random kind of thing, right? Just take cleaning, right? You go and interview 10 different cleaning business owners, right? And you look at them, the story about them starting up, you look at the pros and cons and everything like that. You basically then create a quick action guide on setting up your own cleaning company.
Yeah,
All of a sudden now, right? You've got, from the 10 people making X amounts of money in their business, this is what they say you should and shouldn't do, all the secrets, everything like that to set up your own cleaning business. All of a
mhm.
sudden, that's a valuable guide to someone because they can't
Yeah.
get that information. They can't go and get that information themselves.
No, exactly, exactly. So that is a great example. Actually, yeah, that you don't have to do it yourself, especially. And a lot of people write. I was thinking about. I know we've probably come on to this because I'm writing books and stuff. A lot of people um, don't go the hard way and write their own books like I'm doing. They write that they get other people to write and say, "This is a book. I want a book on this. I want you to write it for me." And that's another thing that's going on. You have to be a little bit careful, I think, with the old plagiarism and all that kind of stuff that goes on. But I know a lot of people who find it successful that they lay down a kind of the maybe 10 bullet points they want covered. They said to someone, I want you to write me I don't know, 20, 30 page booklet on this, which I'm going to then sell for 5.99 or something. Someone else writes the book for them, they come back, they read through it, and you approve it, bang, there you go. And you publish it on Kindle or whatever. But the fact is, you haven't had to do anything. So you might still be employed in a job and you think, I haven't got time to write this, I'll get someone to do it. And there's so many agencies and things that you go on to, again, online where you can find a freelancer who will do that for you.
5 years ago, I was talking to this guy, makes millions a year for his business, right? What is it you do? I publish books. Okay, have you published anything I may have heard of or something like that? It's just like you won't find anything under my name. I was just like, okay. He said basically I've published 100 of books. They've all been like bestsellers and everything like this in all kinds of sectors. And I just use a pseudonym, or just create a
Oh
name,
yeah.
just create a name that it's under. He said, because, if I created a book on this and I created a book on that and I created a book on something else, that people look at me and say, well, you can't be the expert in all those things. But, if I just create a different name and position that, this book is by Eric someone, right? And it's all about climbing Everest, right? He said, and I've just outsourced it to someone to research, if you went to climb Everest, what do you actually need and all this kind of stuff? What are the things to watch out for and all this kind of stuff. So it's all good quality, and they may have even interviewed people who have done it before. He's put together that book and just sold it, and he's making crazy amounts of money, from just creating books that people are going to buy who are interested in that certain subject.
Yeah, yeah.
There's all sorts in there with books. I mean, you can look at books for books for income. Unless you're going to create like a Harry Potter or something like that, it's probably not going to give you all the kind of income you want. But if you're looking at short books for a bit of income and also that kind of top of funnel kind of thing to get people in then to buying your other products, yeah, okay, it's going to work really well. If it's looking to build your authority, to then go and sell them someone else, or even go off to be like a speaker or something like that, whatever it is, okay, great. You can do these things. And like you said, if you've got something to share, I mean, let's be honest, the whole kind of book that you're writing is a bit different to a book, because it's going to get into the whole kind of journaling part, and it's it's going to have the journal part and the questions. So it's a bit of like a workbook more than just a book.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, look, you can write a book. So I guess, look, if we looked at the real quick stuff, right? We affiliate marketing, memberships, creating a quick little product. Instead about kind of mentor and coaching, teaching, look, it's the same thing, as like with the membership we said about someone asking questions. It could just be that. It could just be that you're going to teach someone how to do something. It could be that, this is real kind of silly, right? But it could just be that you're going to teach people how to make pasties, right? And you're just going to put together a little kind of a course or something like that on teaching pasties. And someone says, look, can you just help me? I keep having issues or something like that. Can you just, do this, or making cakes or something, right? Yeah, okay, like I'll teach you how to make cakes and keep teaching you one-on-one and stuff like that. You can get paid for that. If you're great at making birthday cakes and stuff, and you want to now teach someone else how to make those birthday cakes, well, you can get paid for that. You can create an online course, which we'll get into in a minute, but you can also just charge an hour, of your time.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't even need to get your hands dirty. You can just answer questions.
No, that's right. Totally. It's there is a huge scope of stuff you can do there.
Yeah, I mean, look, those are the kind of quick ones, and look, it is just that case of, look, if you're there going, I can't think of what to do, then reach out. Like I said, it's all about helping people and getting people through a tough time and making more money for 2023.
Definitely,
that's what it's all about. And we say 2023, like you could do it now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost 2023. It might even be 2023 by the time you listen to this, but just go on and do it now. And then let's move in then to making money online, but maybe it's not as quick, but maybe it's going to compound and it's going to build up. Maybe you're looking at that side hustle. It's not just about making quick cash, but it's maybe setting up a bit of a business that maybe you can go into full time at some point. Maybe it's going to pay you a lot more money where you're doing less work because you've already done the hard work to set it up. And like you said, a book is a classic example, right? A book is something that you spent the time creating it. Now you have it. Okay, you may need to spend some time marketing it and getting more people to buy it and stuff like that. But really, you've done the bulk of the work, right? The same thing goes if you want to create a course. Courses are really easy to create as well. It's the same thing with, we spoke about, you could outsource it. You could interview different people. It could be your own kind of information. It could be what you're passionate about. You create a course. It could be like a program. So you could have like a 6-week program or something like that people go through with you. So that there, I mean, you could have 6 weeks where you just do a phone call every week with the person, to keep them on track and keep them getting towards something. You imagine, someone wants to run one of these kind of Tough Mudder challenges or something, and they're a bit like, what training should I be doing? What should I be eating before, and all this kind of stuff. And you're a trainer, and you're just like, yeah, okay, but 6 weeks, well, I'll talk you through it.
Talk you through
Each
it. Yeah,
week, we'll look at a plan each week.
yeah,
Yeah, and then we get into the whole kind of digital assets and stuff like that. And we spoke about this before, where websites and blogs and stuff like that, even like YouTube channels, and even the likes of things like Facebook groups and stuff like that. They're all valuable assets to people, because if you can create this, you could sell it, you can leverage it for income, you can start putting in your affiliate deals and stuff like that and start making more money from it. But you can set up these things now. That there are companies in the States especially that are buying websites as income generating assets to put into funds. Just to keep money coming in. And all they do really is they're taking information blog like websites like blogs or comparison blogs, and all they're doing then is just running ads on it or affiliate links. They're getting paid each month, and someone else has already created them and set them all up. So if you have a lot of information, well, you can create a lot of blogs and stuff like that on this topic, on those topics, and then look to benefit from it.
Yeah, and it's interesting because people are always looking for comparison sites between, I don't know, Apple phone and Samsung, or the best CRM systems, or the best free log website creators, that kind of thing. And if you take a website as an asset for that and buy that, then people will be looking at for forever and ever. And all those things, all of them, don't they? They all have their links as well.
Yeah.
So if someone says, yeah, you can buy it from here through this link, buy it from this. So they've all got their affiliate links on there. And that asset is an asset that keeps on giving. So that's a true asset where it's working in the background for you, producing that kind of residual income. And there'll be thousands of people looking at those sites.
We spoke about this before in a podcast where we've got Martin Lewis here in the UK, who's like the money saving expert,
Yeah.
And it's like, you go onto his site or something and it will say, this is the best savings account at the minute, paying X amount %. Click here to go and open an account.
Yeah.
Well, that link there gives him a commission.
Yeah.
Is that kind of thing? That's what you can create.
Yeah.
So like you said, I mean, I think the best way to kind of look at this as well is like, if you're in business or if you're looking at starting some sort of blog or something like that, think of it this way, right? What is it people ask me all the time about? And all you need to do then is just answer those questions. And then you've got a blog there, you've got an information website that people can just go and check this out. I say this to a mate of mine. He's just like, he's really good with cars, right? It's just like, you say anything, this isn't working, what about this? He knows exactly what to do. And I told him just to create some YouTube videos just around, and he only did one, right? He just did one. But that one got some like 15,000 views within like a few months.
Yeah.
And it was just like, now I'm like, well, imagine if you did some more, right? And YouTube is another beast that you can do. It's not overnight. It takes a lot of work to get going, but once it gets going, it's really cool. You can start running ads and getting, paid. You can run, you can run affiliate commissions and stuff like that through it. But that is like, you imagine if you ran a few videos, you imagine if you put that information into a blog as well, it wouldn't be long before he could position himself as an expert, or when he says, look, you guys need to go and buy this kind of cleaner to put into the fuel tank for this kind of car. Well, anyone with that car is going to go and buy it now because they respect him. They can see it.
Yeah.
And,
that's right.
Look, we were looking to cover more within this episode, and I think we'll cover more because we're going to move more into business, about making more money in business. But I think from what we've covered so far, is a lot for people to get into.
Yeah, true.
But from what we've covered so far, there's so many things there, right? Just pick one and just start doing one, right? So whether it's affiliate commissions, you're looking to make money through affiliate stuff, you're going to set up a little membership site, you're going to create a course, a digital product, a workbook, something like that. Also, we're looking at coaching, mentoring, training.
Mentoring, yeah.
We're looking at creating a website and information kind of site, stuff like that. But just go and do one of these things.
Yeah.
And again, look, reach out, and just if there's anything you're not too sure about or anything like that, just send us an email or contact us wherever we are, leave a comment, wherever you're listening and stuff like that. Also, and look, if you do want a bit more help, we mentioned on the last podcast, we've got the Internet Marketers Toolbox. And what we have in here is like over 100 resources with templates, workbook, quick action guides. There's courses and all this kind of stuff. And we're going to do some live videos and it's $8.99 a month, right? So you can just cancel it anytime. You can cancel it within your first month. Just come and check it out. Get all this stuff. Have a little look through. We'll put a link down below for you to go and get this, but you can go to the1jmj.com and that will just take you there. So the number 1jmj.com, and it just go straight there, and you'll see everything that you kind of get there. And it gets updated each month as well with new stuff. So all kinds of stuff. And I haven't told Mark this yet, but I've got all kinds of templates to put in there and worksheets and stuff like that. So I think probably by moving into 2023, we're probably saying there's over 300 or 500 sort of resources rather than 100.
Wow.
So yeah, all for $8.99 a month. Go and check it out. But Mark, I reckon we'll wrap things up on this one. I think my message to anyone listening is like, look, it's all out there. You just have to go and get it. And that really is the thing. Just go and get it.
I think just to extend that, I think you're absolutely right. And it's just change your mindset. Change your mindset from, the press, everything, and probably this is global, not just in the UK, or the UK is particularly bad. It's just gloom and doom. And if you're going to read about the budget and you're going to go, oh, I've got to save this. So let's be optimistic and think, no, okay, I'm going to make now. If my bills are going to go up, let's be optimistic and say, so my bills are going to go up by £200 a month. I need to be looking to make £300 a month.
Mate, do you know what? That mindset thing is massive.
Yeah.
Right? It always is, and I know you're big on this, right?
Yeah.
I was talking to my barber the other day, right? And he basically said, do you know what? He said, I've got people who sit in this chair. He said, and there's people talking about how they have to budget to get their hair cut. He said, and then there's other people, he said, the other end of the spectrum, he says someone's talking about they're getting rid of their boat because it isn't big enough. And they're going to buy a new one, and they could only get 700K for the boat before. This was 1.2 million. And it's just like, look, that is exactly it, right? If you were just there going, oh, do you know what? No one's got any money. Just go and spend a day in like Chelsea or Kensington or something like that, man. And you'll see, there's all kinds of money going on in the world. That there, mate. That mindset thing. I was going to say, look, just get on and do it. Don't be lazy. And I think there is that kind of, some people do need that kick up the backside to say, look, don't be lazy, go on to do it. But I think what happens is it gets into clarity, confidence, and courage.
Yeah.
And I think we would look at that on the next episode, right? Because I think once you have those three things, you'll be absolutely fine. You'll get on and do it. And it's just like, we've kind of looked through it today and we've kind of said, look, make more money. And there'll probably be people going, okay, this makes great sense, but how? How do I go to do it? And that's where, like, okay, the clarity, confidence, and courage is lacking. You have to build up these levels. Look, if you want to move quicker, the1jmj.com, go and join the Internet Marketers Toolbox. Lots of information in there to speed up your journey. The next episode will cover that, clarity, confidence, and courage. And look at, moving forward. Because there was one thing you mentioned on the podcast. I can't remember if it was the last episode or the one before. And you mentioned this word and I wrote it down and we didn't come back to it. But I was like, we're going to have to do a big episode on this at some point. And it was regret. And it was just like, don't get to this time next year and be like, do you know what? I've made no extra money. I've had to spend more money. I regret not taking, what these guys were saying and going and doing something.
Definitely.
So just get on and do it. And yeah, that's it from me, Mark.
Yeah.
You?
The regrets. Well, yes, we definitely got to do that. Graveyard is full of regrets.
Oh, exactly that. Mark, it's always been a pleasure.
Yeah, and it has been a great session. Okay.
I'll catch you then.
Yeah. Cheers.
Bye-bye.